Hello, everyone. This week we are diving deeper into our birth series. And today we are going over if you had a fast or held back birth and how your birth could be affecting anxiety, rushed, held back energy in your life. Okay. And this comes from our birth. So, over the last month, I've been taking people back to their conception, their womb experience, and what happened at their birth and how it affects us. How, when you go over this with me, it'll really explain why it is we do the things that we do. So, here we go, diving into fast or held back births. And what does it mean to have a fast or held back birth? They typically say that a fast birth is up to like 7 hours. And, I've dated someone who had a 6-minute birth. And let me tell you, I could not keep up with him. He had so much energy, so much strength. He's really smart, really fast. I just couldn't ever keep, he actually exhausted me because he never slowed down. It just didn't work. Sorry. What can happen if you had a fast birth? You just do everything so quick, which is not a bad thing. Like these aren't bad, these aren't necessarily bad patterns that we get from our birth, but maybe there's a part of you that would like to slow things down a little bit, maybe rest more, but you feel restless, like you have to keep going. So if you had a fast birth, sometimes what that means is something was going on, or maybe your mom was being rushed to the hospital, or something out there was happening, and the baby was like, I got to get out of here as fast as possible, and it just shoots out, right? So we go over this to help, if you want, of course, bring more of a flow or a balance, so then you don't have to be rushed, or things don't have to happen fast. But, you know, it's all divine and your birth was perfect. It's what makes you you. And what does a held back birth mean? Well, let's say you're coming out in the car and it scares your mom and she's just trying to protect you and she closes her legs. So that could be a held back birth. Or let's say the doctor isn't there yet and the nurse closes your mother's legs. That could be a held back birth. Or another example could be the mom is just holding the baby in until the doctor gets there. Okay, so there's just like this held back energy, and how a held back birth could affect you. Or another example could be, maybe you were a really big baby and you just knew what would be going on if you kept going through, and maybe you held yourself back in there. Maybe you got stuck. That's for another birth series. So how a held back birth can affect you is you might attract this held back energy. You might have it in your life for a really long time until you realize, why do my relationships hold me back? Why do I feel held back at my work, with money, with this, with that? Everything just feels like you can't get it. Everything's just held from you, right? There's like this holding energy. And so we dive deeper into your birth to help this gently lift from your life. And we don't have to hold ourselves back anymore. So let's go over possible programming from fast birth. And some of these may or may not resonate with you. So let's just take a few deep breaths in and keep the breath flowing while I speak this out. So possible programming for fast birth. They're not ready for me. I'm not ready. It's wrong to be fast. They might tend to be impatient. They really go all out for whatever they do. Sometimes they have a problem integrating because they're just going so fast, or the opposite, they take a long time to integrate things. They make decisions fast, spur of the moment. Most of the time, they feel rushed and nervous, always running. They feel their mates rush them and they have no choice about it. They sometimes feel guilty about stepping on the toes of others. Often they want and they crave speed, and their mates cannot keep up. One said, unusual events are easy for me. So just taking a big deep breath in. I just notice what your body does while I'm talking about this. Okay, and moving on to the held back birth. They might have thoughts, I can't have what I want when I want it. People aren't there for me. People are always trying to stop me. That's a big one. Breathe in. And we use the breath to shift it. So that's that energy that I was talking about. If you had a held back birth, you might feel this held back energy, like you just can't get what you want in the time that you want it. So they feel held back and controlled. They feel like they have to break through something. They feel angry. It's just this deeply rooted pattern of holding yourself back, because that's what you came into. That was one of your first experiences of support coming out of the womb. If it was held back, that's your first experience of support, held back. And so it programs the brain. Like you're trying to come out of the womb, and then there's this blockage, you're being held back. And that is, your brain starts downloading that information. And that's what you think support has to be, is like this held back, but it's not. And sometimes they can feel helpless, like they can't get out of this. And that is why I created this birth series. I made a whole line of breathwork sessions for your birth. So for today, you're going to want to go to the link in my bio or go to breathewithkimberlyrose.com, click under shop and click under birth series. And you'll want to check out fast or held back births. This download is going to help lift that held back energy. And just notice while you're doing the breathing, you might even feel held back. And that means the breath is going down through the body and it's helping to release this. It'll help gently dissolve and heal this rushed, nervous, or held back energy. And please let me know how it goes. I love hearing about people's birth and how their birth has affected them, but also how we can move through any challenges that we face on a daily basis. So please keep me posted. All my love and support. And stay tuned for next week's birth. We're diving into every single birth, forceps, C-section, if you were induced, if the cord was around your neck. It is so amazing to go that far back. Most therapists take you back to, your first traumas in life, or as far back as you can remember. And we're going so deep. We're going all the way back to your birth. I hope everyone enjoys this. I've been working really hard on putting all this information together. Okay, take care.